And now, Death Valley Days. Howdy, folks. I'm the old ranger, and I have another interesting true story for you about the historic Death Valley country. For this story, I'm taking you across the Continental Divide into eastern Colorado. It's the year 1873. For the first time since the gold rush to Pikes Peak, interest in the territory has shifted from mining to ranching. The reason? The advent of the railroad, bringing the market within reach of the great range country. Ed Pratt is one of the settlers who saw the opportunity. He took up some land in the region southwest of Pueblo and started raising sheep. His first herd is ready for shipment as we open our story of the Mystery of Suicide Gulch.
All the confounded luck. To break my ankle just when I'm getting ready to drive my first flock to the railroad. I got a good mind to try to go anyhow.
Now, Ed, that's out of the question.
Well, if I wait for this bone to knit, it'll mean I'll miss the market altogether. You realize what that'll mean? It'll mean going deeper into debt.
Paul?
It'll mean having to borrow money to get through till next season.
Paul?
It'll mean that...
Paul?
What is it, Lauren?
Let me take them for you.
You?
I've moved sheep all over this ranch. I can do it.
Why not, Ed?
It isn't just a question of driving sheep. Lige could do that. He's a good herder. It's a question of driving the bargain after you get there.
I can do that, too, if you give me some idea.
You're too young. They'd take advantage of you.
I'm going on 17. I'm as tall as you are.
And he'd have Lige with him besides.
Lige? He's as dumb as a sheep himself. He can hardly read, let alone figure. It just wouldn't do.
Ed, we need the money. We can't afford not to let the boy go.
Drat that gopher hole. Yeah, guess I got no choice.
But I can go? Thanks, Paul. I'll tell Lige.
Now, just a minute. This is no spree you're going on. This is business.
I know that.
Well, just so you do.
Here we are. Here's Pueblo, southern terminus of the Denver and Rio Grande.
You know, I ain't even seen a railroad.
We come out on a railroad as far as Kansas City, but I was only 9 then. We can make Sweetwater Creek the first day, bed down there.
You know, there's water in every one of them valleys, according to the map.
That'll mean good grazing. We can deliver the sheep to the railroad as fat as when they left home.
You know, I wish I could ride all the way to Denver with them.
When I go to Denver, I'm not going to ride on a smelly old cattle car. I'm going to ride up on a passenger coach, on a plush seat.
Oh, the seat plush?
You bet. Green. With kerosene lamps overhead, too. Just like in a house. And cuspidors.
Oh, gosh, maybe we get a look at one when we're in town.
After we sell the sheep. Remember, this is no spree we're going on. This is business.
Finest bunch of sheep I ever did see. Every one of them in prime condition.
They sure are, Pa.
Now, here's the tally. 357. Now, to get there with hardly no loss at all, barring accidents.
There'll be no accidents.
Our main danger is pile-ups. Watch out the leader don't go over a bank and take the others with him. As soon as you sell them sheep, you head right back for home. No hanging around town with your pocket full of money. You savvy?
Yes, Pa.
You ought to be able to get about $250 ahead. If you're smart.
I'll try.
All right, son. Get going.
Bye, Ma.
Goodbye, son. Take care.
I will.
better get down from there, little fella. You'll be left behind. Come on now. Come on.
Gee, what a beautiful valley.
Ain't marked on my map here.
That map of yours is no darn good.
I paid 6 bits for the thing.
Then you got stung. This will be the perfect place to camp for the night. Stream flowing through it, plenty of foliage, the whole floor is green.
Well, let's be going then.
It's gonna be sundown before you know it. You're right. Get him?
No, I missed it. Boy, I ain't never seen nothing like a jackrabbit in this valley. We run like Billy-O. Never once even stopped to nibble.
You're just a bad shot.
You know, this time of day the birds should be coming in to rest, but they ain't. They're all on the move.
Well, we'll eat beans and bacon.
You know, I don't understand. There's something funny about this place.
Something must be dead, making an awful smell. Don't you notice it?
No.
I must be lying right on it.
Why don't you move your bed over there?
I'm going to. It smells just like rotten eggs. I don't see how you could stand it.
Well, I used to herd goats. Lorne? Hey, Lorne, we lost some sheep.
Run off?
No, dead.
Dead.
I found them just now laying on the ground.
Some animal got to him.
Oh, there's no sign of blood at all. I thought at first they was asleep till Buster went up to them. They didn't move.
Come on, let me go see. There's dead sheep scattered all over the place. We must have lost nearly 100 of them.
171.
171? That's nearly half the flock, Lige. Paul's gonna be fit to be tied.
It ain't your fault.
Whose fault is it? What happened to them anyway? There's not even a mark on them. It's just as if they died in their sleep.
I don't know, some disease, I reckon.
But what? They were all perfectly well last night. Nothing could have hit them that quick. Let's get out of here before something happens to the rest of them. Come on.
You know, that was a darn good price you got. Your pa himself couldn't have done any better.
But what does it all add up to? About a third of what we should be taking home. Pa's gonna go clear through the roof.
I still can't figure out what happened to them sheep.
He'll say if he'd have been there, he could have saved them.
You know, well, he couldn't. I mean, nobody could have.
You know Pa.
Yeah, I know.
Want to take another look at the trains?
I've sort of lost my ambition.
Me too. Might as well get on back home. Get it over with.
I don't believe it.
Pa, it's true.
171 sheep dying for no reason whatsoever. It couldn't happen.
It did happen.
Well, we'll take you up there and show you, boss.
Oh, no, you can't. All right, fellas. Come honest. What did you do with the money?
Paul, you don't think we're holding out on you?
Did you lose it? Did you spend it? Were you rolled in some deadfall?
Oh, Ed.
Every cent we got from the sale of the sheep is right there in Ma's hand.
You're lying. I heard you two planning before you left how you were going to paint the town red.
No.
I shouldn't have let you go in the first place.
Now, he got top dollar for them sheep, boss.
You're fired.
Fired?
Yes, get. As for you, you get upstairs to your room and stay there till I tell you to come out.
I'm no kid. You can't treat me like this.
If it weren't for my broken leg, I'd take you out in the yard and horse with you. Now get going.
Buster, go home. Now you gotta go back home. Now please go home. Go on home, Buster. Buster, go home. Now you gotta go back. You just can't come along with me, and that's all there is to it now. Now go home, Buster. Go home. Buster. Now please go home. Go home, Buster.
Ed, Lauren's gone.
What do you mean?
Well, I went up to his room just now to look in on him, and he wasn't there. His bed hasn't been touched and his gun's missing.
Well, where are you going?
Out to the corral to see if his horse is gone.
Now, wait for me.
Buster! 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 Buster, come on, boy! Buster! Come on!
His horse is gone, so's the saddle.
He's even taken the dog with him.
Young fool.
Well, I don't blame him for leaving home after the way you talked to him tonight.
One thing I can't stand is being lied to.
Maybe he wasn't lying. Maybe the sheep did die.
Not in a million years.
What makes you think you're always right, Ed Pratt? Sometimes I wish that... There's Buster.
Well, so you come back, fella. Lauren will come back, too. You'll see.
Buster, where'd you go? Where's Lauren? Where'd you go? He's trying to tell us something. What happened to Lauren?
Nothing happened to him. He just run off, that's all.
The dog's acting queer. I think Lauren's hurt or in trouble. Maybe I should hitch up the rig.
This time of night, alone?
Well, there's no one else to go. You're laid up and you fired your only hand.
Well, if he don't show up soon, I'll notify the sheriff.
I'm driving over to Jim McLean's the first thing in the morning. He's the nearest deputy. And so I've come to ask you to please help us find him, Sheriff.
We'll do everything we can, Mrs. Pratt, to help. Now, you go right on home and don't worry.
Howdy. Mind if I hold up here for the night?
You alone?
Yeah, and glad of company. You're the first person I've met in days.
Make yourself to home.
Thank you. I swore I didn't do it, but he didn't believe me.
So you ran away from home, huh?
Well, wouldn't you if you were accused of stealing? I mean, your own father.
Reckon. Where you heading for now?
North to Denver. After that, I don't know. Frisco, maybe. Where are you heading, mister?
To bed.
Hold it.
What's the idea? Sneaking off in the middle of the night.
I just decided to be on my way.
Well, I'm deciding different, Sonny. We're not parting company. Now hand over your gun. Now let's go back to bed.
I sure am grateful to you folks for giving me shelter.
Glad you seen our lights.
Wind out in this country blows 4 ways at once.
Your first year out here?
My second. And last.
Discouraged, huh?
Wouldn't you be if you lost the entire flock you was taking to market?
Lost them? How?
Queerest thing I ever known. They just died one night. All 200 head, for no apparent reason. In the best of health when they were bedded down. By morning, just so much mutton.
Where did this happen?
Between here and Pueblo. You know the San Isabel region?
Yeah.
There's a valley there. It's a beautiful valley. But don't let it fool you. Stay out of it. Go around. There's some kind of evil in there. Even got the smell of death.
Then he was telling the truth.
Sure I am.
No. Our son. He had the same experience.
In Suicide Gulch?
Suicide Gulch.
That's what I call the place.
We didn't believe him.
No, Myra. I didn't believe him.
I'd like to talk to him. Compare notes.
You can't. He's gone away.
We don't know where he is. He ran away from home.
What are you gonna do to me?
That's just what I was wondering.
Hey, isn't that the kid?
That's the kid, all right.
And look who he's riding with.
Haley. We'll jump him on the trail ahead. We got you, Haley. And you too, kid. Throw out your guns and come out with your hands up.
You ain't got nothing.
You know, he's just about right. Hold up in those rocks, the odds are 10 to 1 in his favor. Try to keep his attention this way, and I'll see if I can slip around behind him.
I wouldn't go in there if I were you, Jack.
It's the only way we're going to get him, if we get him. Drop that gun. Now put up your hands. Both of you. All right, boys, come and get them. Are you trying to tell me that you weren't in cahoots with Haley?
If I had have been, do you think you could have sneaked up behind him? It was me that kept him from shooting you.
Then what were you doing with him?
We just happened to camp at the same water hole.
The same water hole, just by a mere coincidence, I suppose.
Yes, sir. Look, Sheriff, if I had been in cahoots with Haley, wouldn't I have been carrying a gun?
You were carrying a gun when you ran away from home.
Haley took it off me last night at the water hole. He threw it away. Sheriff, you gotta believe me. I haven't broken any law. All I've done is run away.
All right, son, I do believe you. Sit down, I want to talk to you. Now, I don't know what the trouble was at your house.
My pa treated me like a kid.
And you want to be a man, huh? Well, prove it. Go home and take your medicine. Your pa needs you just as much as you need him, son. I understand you've got a mother, too. I only wish my mother was still alive.
We've been sick with worry. I'm so glad you're back.
Howdy, Paul.
Good to have you back, son. I'm sorry I lost my temper.
I shouldn't have run off. Forgive me, Paul. But it sure turned out good.
Good?
Good.
$1,250. Look.
1,200 and... Where did you get that kind of money?
It's a long story, Paul. I don't think you're going to believe it.
Son, I'm through doubting you anymore.
Well, it's my half of the reward for helping capture a train robber.
A train robber? Son, you're really a man now.
You sure are. Lied you. What are you doing here?
I found out I needed a good sheep herder, especially for next year when you two drive another herd to the railroad.
Paul!
But not by way of Suicide Gulch.
Suicide Gulch?
That's what they call it now. A lot of other folks lost sheep there, too. Same way you did.
Well, what happened? What killed them?
Nobody knows. It's a mystery.
There's got to be a reason. Everything has to have a reason.
So what was the reason? What was the mystery of Suicide Gulch? It took 63 years to find out the answer. And here it is. Suicide Gulch's secret is out. Uncle Sam scientists solved the riddle of Colorado's 320 deadly acres. A poisonous nonmetallic element called selenium in the soil of the area is drawn up by plants in sufficient quantity to be dangerous to livestock. Now that the secret is out, sheep no longer graze here. But each summer, tourists flock to the magnificent scenic area of Colorado's San Isabel Forest, on the edge of which lies the area known as Suicide Gulch.